Hey, eighth grade. It is Friday, first Friday of our e-learning week. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everything went well and you're getting a little bit out of this. Get outside, get some exercise. It was beautiful today. Hopefully you got out for a little bit. Here's what we're going to do today. We're finishing up the equations packet, finishing it up by doing the last 4 problems from the equations test. Now, we're going to do a little bit differently. I'm not going to do examples of each one of the problems. I'm going to do the actual problems. I'm going to pause, or you're going to pause the video. I'll tell you when to do it. I'll work the problem out. You'll come back and I'll show you how it's done. Now, don't cheat. Take your time. You've got all the time in the world. This is going to be about a 6-minute video, 7-minute video. So all together with pausing, it'll end up being probably around 15 minutes. And that'll give you, well, you won't have any homework because we're going to do it all together. You just check it out. Don't just sit here and watch me do the problems. Actually try them and then see if you did the same thing or did something differently but ended up with the same answer. If you did something differently, learn from my ways. And if you did it differently, send me the information. Some of you have been very good about getting me your work through these last few days. I won't say anybody's been super good, Cody. Not that he's gotten them in before everybody else, but unbelievable. Keep it up, all of you. So here we go. The problem we're going to start with is the man who bought 4 cups of coffee and paid a $7 tip, and the woman that bought 8 cups of coffee and only paid $2 because she's cheap. If they paid the same exact amount of money, how much was a cup of coffee? So ready, pause. All right, you're back. Here we go. We are going to know that the coffee, we don't know the cost of the cup. So we're going to make it X. But we do know that the guy bought 4 cups of coffee, so 4 times X, and he left a $7 tip, plus $7. The woman bought 8 cups of coffee. Good Lord, she's been in the bathroom all morning. 8 cups of coffee, but only left a $2 tip. And they tell us that they are the same amounts of money. Well, what's another word for the same? Equal. It's a 2-step equation with variables on both sides. We're going to get the x's to one side, the constants to the other. In this one, I'm going to move the 4x over to here just because it's smaller. So the opposite of a positive 4x is a negative 4x, cancels, minus 4x. 8x minus 4x is a 4x. If I move the x's to the right, I've got to move the constants to the left. So I'm going to subtract 2 and subtract 2. That makes 5. And I can already see 5 is not divisible evenly by 4. You're not going to leave this one as an improper fraction or a fraction. Why? Because it's cash. We're looking for the cost of the cup of coffee. So we've got to divide both sides by 4. This cancels, but I've got to take 5 divided by 4 and do it as a decimal. Okay? 4 goes into 5 one time. 1 left over, bring down the 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. That's 8. Subtract. 2 left over, bring down the 0, and 4 goes into 25 times. So we found out that a single cup of coffee ends up costing $1.25. Not that horrible, not that big of a deal. Easy problem. Hopefully you found out the same answer. You may have moved the 4x or the 8x differently and maybe worked with negative numbers, but you better have ended up with an answer, and you had to turn this one into a decimal. You could have made it 1 1/4 dollars. 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/4 is 1.25. Any way you do it, but don't leave it as just 5/4. Nobody goes into a restaurant and pays 5/4. There's no such thing, okay? Now, next problem is the triangle problem. Find the measure of each angle, all right? First thing that you've got to remember, the total angle measure of a triangle. Pause this. All right, we're back. The total angle measure of a triangle. Who remembered it? What is it? Right. It is 180 degrees is the total angle measure. If you add up all the angles of a triangle, it equals 180 degrees. Well, knowing that, that makes this problem a billion times easier because all you have to do is add the 3 angle measures, and it has to equal 180. Well, it tells us this is 5x minus 6. It tells us this is 3x, and it tells us this is 2x plus 16. Okay, how many x's? 2x. 3x makes 5x, and 5x makes 10x. I combine the like terms, x's. I've got a positive 16 and a negative 6. That makes a positive 10. Two-step equation. Cannot get any easier than this, okay? Subtract 10, subtract 10. It is 170. 10x is equal to 170. Divide by 10. And it should be x equals 17. Not your answer. They didn't ask for what is x. They asked for the measure of each angle. So I have to go into this and change the x into 17. 3 times 17 is 51. So that angle measure is 51 degrees. 5 times 17 is 85. Minus 6, 85 minus 6 is 79. That's 79 degrees. And last, 2 times 17 is 34. 34 plus 16 is 50 degrees. So let's just test. We have 79 degrees, 51 degrees, and 50 degrees. Add them together. It better equal 180. This is my check. And it's 10, 7, 8, 18, 180 degrees. We win. All right. So far, so good. Directions for the next two is you must write and solve an equation for each of the following. You really don't even need an equation to solve them, but you need to write one. Okay, this is the test on this, and that's what makes a level 3. Being able to find the answer, no big deal. Being able to write the equation from what they tell you, big deal. That's what they want you to be able to do. That's what gets you the 3 on this next unit for equations. Now, really quickly, I'll read the problem to you. Then I'll say pause, and we'll give you some time to be able to write out the equation on your own and be able to look at it and read it on your own. It says, a number is divided by 3, and the quotient is added to 7. The result is 13. Find the number. Pause. All right. It says a number, well, I don't know what that is. So a number is divided by 3. Can't get any easier than that. It tells you exactly what to do. A number divided by 3. The answer to this right here is then added to 7. And it says the result is 13. Here we go. You don't need the parentheses. Honestly, you could leave the parentheses off. Ugh, grubby hands on a dry erase board. Yuck. It's a two-step equation. X divided by 3 is plus 7 is equal to 13. That's the last thing I work with because it's directly attached to my variable. Subtract 7. It equals 6. And I have X divided by 3 is equal to 6. So many of you are going to look at this and go, easy, 2. That's wrong. It's not 2. Okay? X divided by 3. What is the opposite of dividing by 3? It's multiplying by 3. That cancels out. Multiplied by 3. X equals 18. So the answer to this one ends up being 18. Hope you did it right. If you didn't, look, see where you messed up, what you did wrong. And last but not least on our problems, it is the team 8-2 wants to go on a field trip. 8-2, I'll go 8-3. Team 8-3 wants to go on a field trip to the zoo. It costs $7 for each ticket to the zoo. The bus costs a flat fee of $65 to take them there and back. How many students can attend the field trip if the team only has $205 to spend? Okay, so don't get mixed up by some of the words that they throw at you in here. Don't get mixed up by some of the ways that they put things. It's an easy problem. Pause. Take your time. Do this one. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. Alrighty. They want to go on a field trip to the zoo, and we know that it costs $7 per ticket. $7 per, I don't know how much the ticket costs. I don't know. Then they add a flat rate of $65 for the bus. And in total, it has to equal $205. Ooh, running out of board over there. All right. Equals $205. Two-step equation. Once you get it done, subtract the 65. You have 7x is equal to 140. Oh, that's easy enough. X equals, wow, only 20 kids get to go on this trip. Oops. 20 children, 20 tickets, 20 people. Alrighty. That was the last one. So enjoy your weekend. You have no homework. Just make sure you get the other problems into me. I'm leaving you an extra 10-ish minutes, no, actually about 20-ish minutes, to work on anything that you need to get done from the weeks previous, especially if you haven't handed anything in. Maybe get some stuff written down and ask questions to me and write some questions before next Monday and Tuesday when we take the test on this chapter. Alrighty? So, I look like I'm dressed all formal, but I'm in a pair of shorts. So, good job. I will see you soon, I hope.